Hello, and welcome to the Gaia update for the total lunar eclipse in Scorpio that's happening on May 16th, 2022. I'm Adrienne Elise. Well, this is a culmination moment for this eclipse season. Incredibly powerful eclipse, just a couple of degrees away from the nodes of the moon. So the nodes of the moon are the interception between the orbit of the sun and the moon. And when the sun and the moon line up with the nodes, that's when we have these eclipses. So eclipses are just that, aligning up, and it's about getting our ducks in a row. It's about coming into energy alignment with the energies. So timeline alignment. Eclipses are also about things hidden being revealed, and clarity. The energy of eclipses lasts for 6 months until the next eclipse season. So we are very powerful energy with this total lunar eclipse in Scorpio. We haven't had a lot of Scorpio energy, and yet it really fits the times that we're in now that we have the South Node in Scorpio. So huge energies coming up, luring us into the deepest, darkest places of our subconscious, places that we've been running from or hiding from. Realizing that in these darkest places is the key to our full expression of existence. And indeed, it's like we have given ourselves an opportunity of a soul death experience so that we can come into more fully living. This is what it's all about. And we are feeling this pressure now that Venus is in Aries. Venus in Aries is in conjunction to Chiron, exact for this total lunar eclipse. And Venus is our feminine side, the female energies within each of us. We all have masculine and feminine. So it is connected to what we really want, what we need, what makes us feel good, our desires for our general everyday existence, our comforts. Venus is the ruler of Taurus, so very powerful energy with the North Node in Taurus and Uranus there in Taurus as well. So Venus rules our self-worth and our values and what really matters to us. And hanging out there with Chiron in Aries. Chiron is our deepest wounds. In Aries, it's about where we've given our precious life force away, our precious energy that is our God-given right to existence, our immune system, our power, our life force. And so this is speaking to deep and powerful energies of shame and regret around the feminine in all of us and in our whole society and this whole evolution being suppressed and being demonized. And so how do we come back to this place that we're really yearning to get to, of fully living, realizing that we haven't been fully experiencing our life here, just going along with the program, And as advanced souls, it's time for us to be like, hey, wait a minute, not my circus, not my monkeys, like not doing it anymore, right? And taking our energy back from the lower dynamics and the lower matrix. So Venus and Chiron is really speaking to this and recognizing that we're nothing without our wholeness. And we've got to rescue and heal and integrate this. Well, I guess the energy is kind of like our feminine daughter, our inner child, rescue her, love her, bring her back into the fold, because you can't have a juicy experience of this life and a full experience of living without this. Now, when we step back into claiming this energy, though, because we've all been suppressed in our creation energy, we've literally just handed it over. But when we go to claim it back, inevitably we're going to come up with some fear programming and authority contracts, energies of, oh no, you don't, that's not yours to have. A feeling of like, maybe if you come into this energy, it could hurt you or other people, or maybe you'd be punished for it, or chastised, or exiled, or tortured, or killed, like the other lifetimes in the Piscean age, right? So we are working through a lot, and this Venus Chiron is going into our core wound of separation, the core energy of delusion, where we said, oh, God doesn't love us anymore. We don't deserve to exist in a full way. We don't exist to be we don't deserve to be cared for. And it's like this earth, this realm is constantly regenerating herself in this incredible mystical, magical way. This in itself is an example of creation energy. And yet we're tricked into thinking that we live in lack and scarcity, when our entire world is demonstrating to us the abundance. Now, this is the female energy. The female form of electricity is free energy based on perpetual motion. So the idea is that once you get it up and running, it just continues to fuel and generate itself, and more is more. Now, this is the energy of the feminine. If the feminine is suppressed within us, it's like causing issues and problems and making us sick, our creation energy. If it's fostered, then it's like we have an energy of connection to source, So the picture of the divine goddess within each of us being nurtured like a fountain and supported, and into getting into that place of that hum of the perpetual motion of the ongoing abundance of creation energy that's actually the truth of this existence. So, wow, Venus and Chiron, it's just like going to the core of this and going to the core of the Aries issues of this desire to fully live, and the price that we've had to pay for going against the grain in the past, when we've chosen freedom over, and yet where we couldn't choose freedom in order to stay alive. And but the Aries energy is so powerful. Aries is the child. Aries is the spark of creation. It's the very beginning of something new, and the power of that spark. We've just had Venus crossover in this Aries point, the spark of new creation, and Jupiter. Venus is in Aries now, but Jupiter just joined, and very, very powerful energy. Jupiter just expands whatever it comes into contact with. And in Aries, it's expanding this life force, this quest for experiencing fully, and imbuing our life with life again, allowing life back into life. Now, the Aries energy is also interesting because it's about incarnation, and Aries as the child is about this spark, this incarnation. It's about bringing spirit into form. Now, we've gotten so disconnected from, when we're talking about bringing spirit into form, then of course you're going to, come back to the concept of mother and the divine feminine and nurturing us into form, right? And so in the wounds of Chiron and Aries, there's this deep feeling of disconnect from that nurturing source. But when we come back to earth, when we take our bare feet and we dance on the earth, we connect magnetically, when we stomp our feet like little children and rattle our rattles and bang on our drums, we are communicating with this divine mother goddess. We're honoring and receiving, feeling worthy of receiving through our gratitude, this never-ending life and life force and life source available to us right here. So there's this energy of incarnating a new timeline with this Jupiter moving over the Aries point. And it's kind of like, the light is returning. There's something else possible. Oh my gosh. It's like, when you go through these periods of time where things are so hard, and then you're just in survival mode. And you can't, it's hard to even allow yourself to imagine feeling at peace and rejuvenated and healed. And so this is what we're doing right now. The control energies have lost their grip. And now is our time to breathe, claim back our life, our peace, our moment, our garden, and incarnate life back into our life. Plant our feet on the ground and shake, rattle, and roll the seeds of creation back into alignment with this goddess truth, that's been cut out of our existence and out of our life. So Venus there with Chiron, she's a warrior for this life force and for her permission to be in her full. Now, the energy, this is so Venus is kind of claiming back this female power that's been suppressed and going with Chiron into this energy of Aries to just kind of find the strength to do this. But we have to understand that feminine power in its creation energy is just so beautiful. It is that fountain when it's supported. It's that never-ending abundance that can feed the whole community, just energetically. It's just beautiful. But when creation energy has been suppressed and programmed, we've got all this fear around it, that it's somehow dangerous, that it can hurt people, then this is what we're trying to, this is the programming we're undoing. And we have to understand that suppressed energy of creation has gotten so powerful. It is kind of scary, right? Because it's like, which way is it gonna, when that jet comes out of the box, which way is it gonna jump, and it's gonna be a little bit of a shocker. This is definitely the energy of these times. So this total lunar eclipse is so powerful with Jupiter poised at 0 degrees Aries, just ushering in this new timeline, saying, are we going to live? Or are we going to die? Are we going to fully incarnate? Or are we going to give up the ghost? And it's that fight of the organism to take back its power. And Venus the warrior is there with Chiron. Now, Chiron energy is interesting because when you heal the deepest wounds of Chiron, so where Chiron is, where the placement of Chiron in your birth chart shows you your deepest wounds. Now, it's very important marker, specific for supernova souls. It's a generational type energy of where these impulses were coming in and of light. And so there's a lot in your chart around your Chiron placement. And so it shows you where your deepest wounds have been as a story that's played out through this whole evolution. But underneath those deepest wounds is a shamanic power. And it's interesting because Chiron is a masculine power. It's a wounded healer, but it's a masculine energy of the male healer. And that wound that, of course, always is going to go back to this disconnection from the mother, right? And when you come back into connection, then you get your magical healing power, which is exactly an inverse relationship to your wound, and this is this energy of going with the South Node Scorpio and this full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio, go to the dark side. We have to understand that as supernova souls, part of the definition of who we are is that we chose to go to the depths of the darkest places so that we could come back into the light. So we could say, look, humanity, it's possible. I'm not going to come here as a purified angel telling you, the way it should be done. No. It's like boots on the ground going into the depths. So part of what's coming up is the shame around where we haven't been able to look at and face how far off we got, how far into the weeds, how far into the shadows we had to go, how far against our nature we've had to play in this game. And yet we have to understand that because of all the program we've gone through and experiences, supernova souls, it's almost like we had to go to the depths in this human experience to know that we deserve to live, to fully live. And here we are with the theme of this astrology. So the Scorpio full moon is so powerful because it's inviting us into these places, and it's almost like you cannot cleanse and heal and wash away that shame until you go and be in it for a minute. You just can't. We have to go and recognize and honor these shadowy places that have given us the depth of our experience, to put us in this place to be so powerful the way you are, where you're poised right now, just like Jupiter at that 0 degrees Aries. Here you are, just about to just leap over that rainbow bridge and give yourself full permission to exist in the reality that we know we came here to create, to co-create. So everything is pointing to this, and it's a huge lining up. That's what eclipse season is. And we're really feeling that in the next couple of days as the sun comes into a conjunction with the North Node. That exact conjunction happens a couple of days before the lunar eclipse. So this couple of days leading up to the lunar eclipse, which is on early Monday morning, and most of the world, it's on Monday the 16th, and then in the Western U.S. it's on the 15th. So the soul group session will be happening on the Sunday the 15th. And these few days leading up, so powerful of this lining up. Now, what I'm seeing happening for supernova souls right now is a energy of putting pieces back together, looping back around in your life, full circle, to pick up pieces of yourself. And we kind of broke apart over the last few years. And it's kind of like, whoa, feeling our way through the dark. And the whole time claiming a better feeling, a better life right here in our heart. And then we're manifesting that. We're living that. That is the role. And what we're here to do is just simply demonstrate it's possible. So very powerful lining up. Now, it's interesting. The other thing, not only do we have Venus exactly conjunct Chiron in Aries, we've got Mars exactly conjunct Neptune in Pisces. And this is at 24 degrees Pisces, coming to the end degrees of Pisces, where we're feeling this deep and profound longing for our true spiritual essence and grief around how far we've gotten away from it. Now, it's really interesting because the Mars and Neptune coming together, that will be exact just the day after this new moon, full moon in the total lunar eclipse. And they're in a sextile relationship to the sun and the North Node, which means a trine with the South Node and the moon. So everybody's on board playing right now. Just every planet has a powerful, powerful message for us, right? All hands on deck. Shit is aligning. Get your ducks in a row. Go pick up the pieces of your life. Drop what no longer matters. Stop wasting your time on the bullshit and get on with it, right? And so this is beautiful because Mars is our masculine warrior in conjunction to Neptune. Beautiful, dreamy, spiritual energy, but also delusions and fears and energies that have kept us from our true spiritual connection. And kind of the dark, shadowy energies that are unresolved from the Piscean age really coming up and saying, can't take those demons with us, right, into the light. So it's all getting cleansed. But the sextile with the sun and the North Node. And so the sun and the North Node together is this destiny lining up. We just had Uranus go over the sun, or the sun go over Uranus. And that energy is an awakening of who we really are. And so this energy is an alignment, a timeline alignment with a life that's more in alignment with who we really are based on our precious, beautiful spiritual gifts, which we didn't even know we had and were uncovering, except they were hidden under the rubble and the shame. And that's the excavation process, a deep and profound purge happening potentially for this solar total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, because it's an energy of ancestral clearing. Really fits Scorpio, being able to go into the astral realms and disconnect cords and free yourself from programming and entity attachments and bullshit that's been going along the way. And it's kind of like time to line up with your greater destiny, which isn't anything specific. It's just who you really are. And get your life in alignment with that. And it's like, well, I don't know who I really am, but okay. So step by step, we're navigating in these very interesting times. Navigation is so different. It's like, oh, feel it out, wait, I think maybe I'll make a move. Oh, adjust, da 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 da. Universe, you take a step. Universe takes a step. Constantly opening up to more and more possibilities. It's so different than how we've navigated in the past, of like a linear plan and execution of that plan with specific timing, and it's just like throw all that out the window because it's not going to work anymore. It's like so huge, powerful. But this Sun North node, it's an alignment with who we really are based on our inner wealth. And then in sextile, sweet sextile, this is 60 degrees, 2 signs over. It's that creative solution to Mars and Neptune. A warrior for this new world, for the vision, for the Christ consciousness, for the golden age to return. And we've got to get in alignment with that. And that means dropping the stories of the past that are coming up so intensely but Mars and Neptune trying the South Node says, yeah, there's some dark, scary shit in there that you haven't been able to face and address. But now's the time. Now's the time. You've got the support you need. We're all doing it together. There's no hiding anymore. This is what's keeping you from your people, your community, your life, your projects, the way you're supposed to live. This is what's been keeping you, and no more running from it, right? So really powerful, just this whole lining up of energies. At the same time, we have just on the 10th, we had Jupiter, like I said, go over into Aries. And at that same day, Mercury take a retrograde in just the early degrees of Gemini. So we're going to be in this very strange rearranging, lining up, recapitulation, purge energy through this eclipse season. And then when Mercury turns direct on the 3rd of June, that's when we're going to be kind of coming out, making some realizations about what this has all been about, kind of being able to maybe take some steps as we move through the month of June. Mercury coming out of shadow on the 18th of June. So we could possibly have a whole new way forward in a whole new direction, a whole new life. Just if we can just sit tight and be present, learn to navigate in this new way and take the spiritual blessings that are flooding in. At the same time, don't be scared of going into the darkness, because that's been what's keeping you from excavating your massive treasures and wealth. So thank you so much, Supernova Soul, for being here and for your support. It means so much to me. I look forward to seeing you. Maybe you'll consider joining the Supernova Soul Group session. This is a group intuitive session for this total lunar eclipse, and it's happening at 2 p.m. on Sunday, the 15th. Sunday, May 15th at 2 p.m. in Mountain Time in the U.S. If you can't make it live, know that this is available for you whenever you can make it. If we're working outside of time, and access that replay. The lunar eclipse isn't until about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in Mountain Time on Sunday night. So this eclipse is powerful because it is visible in a lot of the, wherever it's dark at that time, you'll be able to see this eclipse. So it's going to be quite a powerful energy for the whole world of facing our inner darkness so that we can come back to the light of truth of who we really are. So I hope you'll consider joining that soul group session. We're going to look at shared and past life pictures that can help us get the clearings and healings we need to make the most of these incredible times. So thank you so much for being with me. I hope to see you on that soul group session for the total lunar eclipse or on the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.